Thank you so much for having me. Again, my name is Timur. I'm the founding partner of 2080 Ventures. Before joining 2080 Ventures, I was a founder myself. So what I did, I created a product. We hacked Snapchat and we allowed some of the biggest brands in the world, like GQ Magazine, Condé Nast, PBS, Time Magazine, to really update, create content and upload it to our platform onto their Snapchat. And while I was doing that, some of the biggest VCs in the Valley started reaching out and they said, like, hey, we want to give you funding. And we said, well, hold on. We don't want funding. What we actually need is education on how to build our company. So we applied to some of the biggest accelerators in the world, and we got into 500 startups. And that's where our story started. And one of the partners asked me, hey, can you come in and help some of our companies? And I was like, sure, let's try it out. And what I did there is actually start running programs all across Asia and the CIS region. So to date, I worked with 700 startups so far. And one of the biggest challenges I saw is like, well, everybody was paying to acquire users, and which is not that great if you're a company. What we really need to do is create organic growth. And one of the biggest ways you can create organic growth is, well, you as an individual, you can write as much content as you want, but that's not scalable. And if you start hiring people, let's say in Europe, let's say in the States, it doesn't become feasible. And the way you do it is actually start getting people and start building teams in the Philippines. So the origin of this started is when myself, I was seeing billion-dollar companies literally being created just because you have influence, you had eyes over you. So like Kylie Jenner starting her makeup company, being listed on the Forbes magazine, Ryan Reynolds starting Mint Mobile, Mr. Beast starting Beast Burger, Logan Paul with Prime, and Jessica Alba with Honest Company. And even there's some amazing writers. So if you look at like James Clear, Atomic Habit, or Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, they all started with content. And so from this point on, what we're going to learn is like, how do we create content like these guys? How do we start researching? What tools do we use and what methods do we use to start creating content if we have any problems on creative flow? And then how do we create a process throughout this time? How do we hire people? How do we scale it? How do we literally create an engine so when you're away, it automatically works by itself? And then how can we apply the pig factory method to like take one piece of content and turn it into many things? So how to create content with research tools, right? So the first step always begins with, here's a simple rule. If you don't like reading or watching what you're creating, nobody else will, right? There's no need to overthinking. A lot of times we think like, okay, I need to write this many words. It needs to be this length long. It really doesn't matter. If you genuinely yourself enjoy what you're creating, a lot of people will. And here's the thing, what I learned is whoever out-educates their user or whoever out-educates their customer will automatically win, right? So you need to be the person always creating content and out-educating anybody else. So the research tools, like the easiest research tools that you need to be using is Google. Google's your best friend, right? So what you need to really do is, here's an example. We created a product which allowed people to create videos. And what we saw is people were creating videos by, so I want to create videos like Gary Vee. So what you do is like, how do you create videos like? And they will automatically give you suggestion. So that's one of the best things you could do. Another great tool is called Uber Suggest. All you have to do is literally copy your competitor's URL and put it at Uber Suggest and look at your competition. There will be pages that are getting like 10,000, 50,000 views a month, and they have zero backlinks. So that means if you create the same content, add more value to it, you are going to get those views automatically if you have more backlinks. So just like backlink it through Quora, backlink it through like Medium, like all these high-ranking websites. Another tool is called Answer the Public. It's also by Neil Patel. He acquired it. And it gives you a lot of suggestions on like what content people are using for, how to write it. In terms of methodology, right, what you need to do is like, you need to be like Martha Stewart, right? Just start with how to do stuff. how can I do X? How can I do Y? How can I do Y? Right? These are the easiest contents to get started with. Another method you could use is called the skyscraping method, which is pretty much you stack one block off the other. So like, here's an example, 19 best apps for 2013, 15 best apps in 2016. You take all this content, you stack it together, you add more details, and that method is called skyscraping. So you pretty much stack it together. And the last thing is give away your secrets for free, right? If you think you're giving away more, do even more, right? Do more than anyone else. Like you have to give more value to people, and in turn, it will keep giving you more in return. So like there's no need to gatekeep. A lot of times what you realize is that, people are never going to apply that what you're teaching. So it's better to just give away your secrets. And creating a process. So here's how you create a process, right? Go on Upwork. The best thing to do is look for people in the Philippines. They know English. They're cheap, right? Give them a test, right? So like whenever you're doing content, videos, or writing blogs, it's like, hey, can you write this blog for me? I'll pay you XXX, right? And they do these tests, pay them 20 bucks, 30 bucks, whoever you like, hire them on your team, right? And here's the thing. If you want to write content, you really need to be disciplined, right? So for me, when I'm creating content, I have to really say like, no matter what, I will get 2 videos out a day. Or no matter what, I will have 1 video out a week. Right? That's just comes in discipline, and you can never let that go. Otherwise, you won't be able to create this engine. You are not an editor. Hire someone who will edit for you. This is really important to have, right? You are going to waste your time editing stuff. So if you're creating videos and short form content, it's better to find somebody who can do that for you. The last concept is the pig factory, right? So like if you look at like, for lack of better words, like a pig going into a slaughterhouse, right? So like the skin is used for leather, the skin is then used for pork rinds, the meat is used for like pork chops, ham, and you have the side cuts, which is used for bacon. Then you have the leftover, which you make sausage and spam, and the fat is used for lard. The bone is used for like a gelatin and collagen. Even the voice is recorded of the pig and is turned into a ringtone. So that's what you need to be. You need to create this content. So imagine we record this video. This video is going to be a recorded podcast. Then it's going to be turned into audio, which is going to be shared across like SoundCloud or Spotify. And then you make short form bites. So like take interesting parts of this video and turn into one minute clips, add subtitles, and then distribute that into TikTok, Instagram, stories, and YouTube shorts. Turn this into article, right? So like whatever I'm saying, like take this, turn it into article, enrich it, draw illustration of the pig factory mythology, draw illustration of the skyscraper method, add more details on how to use the tools that I mentioned, like Neil Patel, add charts. And then last thing you could do is like turn this into a PowerPoint and upload it onto LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has a slide feature, and then use that, and then the ultimate thing, do a tweet storm. So that's literally how you create a content machine in like 10 minutes.